What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trade Academy. Guys, we got red. We talked about some levels this morning on the show. We went over all of that. We said, hey, these are the levels to watch, guys. This is where we are watching for, right down there at the bottom. That is the level we call. We even put a T box on there at the 300-day moving average, and it's also the golden pocket of the very long 6-year-old trend-based fibs. And we touched it to a point, to perfectly. It's I'm in a trade right now off of that on a long to go along with my short. Let me go ahead and pull that up here, and let me see if I can get that into focus for you there. There you go. Right there. Long currently at $41 in profit. My short in profit, $494. Long and a shorty. We're schlonging Bitcoin today, guys. We're going to look at the next levels that you need to watch for and figure out if there's any hope for us. Are we going to hold this level? Are we going to head down to $56,000? Or are we going to bounce back up to the 200? We're going to look at that and a lot more today on Trade Academy, guys. Let's go. Let's get it. It's time. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Trade Academy. We're here in the afternoon. We got everybody in the house. Everybody got the seats in the class. I see Alexandra G's here. We got Indie Rock Crypto here. We got Buck here. Max H is in the house. Falco's in here. We got Alexandra G. She said, save me. Alexandra, if I could save you guys, I would. I thought I was trying to do that when I said 2 months ago, we're going down. So everyone that joined us early, though, I appreciate you. Ben Redden in the house, all sets in the house, and Average Crypto Joe. So I don't know. Are we missing anybody? Yeah. My co-host. We're missing him. What's up, OC guy? Welcome to Trade Academy, bro.
Oh man, thank you very much. Today, there's a lot of heat wave. I'm Cosmo. Piper know what I'm talking about. He was like cooking in my house last time he was here, and we need to move completely out of house if you remember. But other than that, I'm feeling fantastic. Have my bottle of water. Have a couple of trades. I also jumped into a short, into a long this morning, and also I'm looking at a couple of things like XRP. So we'll see a couple of things that I am looking at, and also great box that you call there. Also, is one of my entry boxes. So I think we can safely say we told you so.
Yeah. I'm not the type of person to say I told you so, but I am the type of person to say, as we discussed earlier this morning, this is the level. I just want to point out though, and this is for T Will, if you're listening. He said, if you hit that level that you're talking about, then I will be the first to salute you. There was a whole post. He told me to use him by name. So I prefer not to, call people out if they're not here. But T Will, if you're watching this later, we hit 59.8. That was the level that I've been talking about. 300-day moving average, 0.66 on the fib. So if you're out there watching, I love you. And I don't care if I was right or not. Come back. There you go. Let's get into the charts. Let's go talk about Bitcoin, and then we'll come back around and check out what's going on with some other stuff. I am watching the market close right now, guys. Dow Jones closing 0.14% down. Give me 1 second for the other ones to pop up here because I'm watching CNBC Pro like I always do. S&P down 0.2% at the close today, and then the NASDAQ down about 0.05%, about neutral. So there you go. That's the markets are closing down today. Russell 2000 down over 0.5%. But let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin here, guys. This was the level we were talking about this morning. We can put this on the hourly. Let's go back there and take a look at where we were this morning. We were about right here. And I said, look, here's the bottom line. We are sitting here trying to fight the 50-day and the 100-day. Now, it is possible. Where are we at? We were right in here. I said, we got rejected. We tried to get above that 100-day and we got rejected. I think that it's very likely that we are going to see a retracement down to the 300-day simple moving average. And while we're down there, might as well go and touch that 0.66. For those that don't know where these fibs come from, what they're pulled from, I'm going to go ahead and show you because I showed OC earlier and I don't think he realized it until I showed him. But Guys, these fibs are 6-year-old fibs. They're going to the low, the bottom of the bear market in 2018. Okay. Measure because you pull 3 points on a trend base, right? You go, from a low to a high to a low, or a low to a high to an even lower low, right? You pull 3 points on a fib. The second point is the high at the all-time high in 2021, and then to the low, which was in the bear market of 2022. Okay, so I pulled a low to a high to a low, starting all the way down in 2018 to the high in 2021 to the low of 2022, and it gave me these fibs. It's a trend-based fib extension. Okay. If you look at where we bounced, got rejected at the all-time high in March, and I'm looking at a daily chart here, guys, it was the 0.87. What is the platinum pocket for? It's when things break the golden pocket. This is typically your reversal point. And that's exactly what happened on these fibs. This is why I started talking about, guys, it's possible that we either have an extended cycle where we got into, hey, we rallied way too soon, way early. Now we have all the economic data catching up to it. And then now we have to accept the possibility that the high may be in for a while until the macro markets get a little bit stronger to support sentiment market, speculative market, I should say, which is crypto and stocks, right? And so that was that platinum pocket. The golden pocket, though, is where I was watching for us to pull back to today. And that is the 0.66 there at 58,934. We talked about that. And on top of that, with the confluence that we have of the 300-day simple moving average, I saw Ben Redden say he's going to put that on his thing now. Hey, check it out, man. MA ribbon, go up here into indicators, type in MA ribbon, and you'll see this moving average ribbon right there. It's under technicals. It's not even one of the community ones. When you open that up, it will give you 4 ribbons. And all I did was put them all to simple moving averages at the 50, 100, 200, and 300. Change the color going from green at 50-day to like a heat map, right? Green, yellow, orange, red. And that's all I did. So that's how you can get the 200, 350, and the 100 all on this one single indicator. It's just the MA ribbon, and it works phenomenal. You can change it to whatever type you want, but I'm using simple moving averages on this. And yeah, that is where we called down to. We got a perfect bounce on that golden pocket. If I actually go ahead and get rid of that triangle, you'll see the wick playing out perfectly there. So I do think that we are going to try, because if you take a look at what's going on here on the hourly, you can see that bounce down to there. And now we're trying to pull back up. I think this pull up is actually going to be off of to this 50 and 100 coming across here. And that will be where I'll watch for a rejection. I'll close out my little long that I'm in, and then we'll continue writing that short down. I do think that we're going to visit 56,168. Why do I think that? Couple of reasons. If you guys were watching this morning, you know this, but I'm going to go ahead and recap it for those that weren't here, because shout out Bedridden. So we do have a nice hot spot area down here, about 59,600. Can I refresh this? Because we have already hit that. Thanks. Appreciate you. All right, let's put this back onto the 2-week, and let's talk about these levels. Give it a second to load, folks. Moving at the speed of smell. So we did come down and close out that level that I talked about this morning. If we bring this now down to a 1 month, you'll see that there's another spot down here at about $56,300 there, okay? Now there is one above us here. There is a hot spot up here around 66, 67. I don't think we're ready to go up there yet. I think that's going to be a hot minute. No pun intended with the heat map there. But yeah, I think that is what we have to watch there. There's another reason that I think that is a level that we're going to go to. That is going to be over here, and we're going to go pull it up, and we're going to take a look at the BTC 1 exclamation point. What is that? That is going to be your CME gap, guys. And we have a CME gap that still has not been filled, going back to 6 September. That comes in at about 54,460. Bottom side of that, 53,720. Now, if we go in here, I want to show you what's going on here. Let's go in and grab a fixed range volume profile. There we go. Let's bring it from this point here where we had our pullback to current. You'll see that the only thing we really have going for us right now is, and you can see this, we literally got a candle close rejection on the point of control running across there. The only thing that we have going for us here is right about $58,000. There is a value area low. If we break that, there's not a whole lot here. I mean, you can see from that point, it's just a free fall down to that CME gap close. Once we get there, you can see the price action here on that CME gap, and that will be where we'll start to get our bounce. So I'm actually looking for that bounce to come around $53,000. So I don't have a problem at all assuming, speculating, assessing, analyzing that we will at least visit this 56,168 and possibly even lower. So that's what I'm watching there on Bitcoin. That is why we are continuing to bring these things up and talk about this bearish data, guys. I hate being the perma bear. I really do. I want to be bullish. I want my portfolio and my bags to go to the moon, and I want us all to get money and get rich, right? But at the end of the day, I've got to tell you guys the truth, and that's all you're ever going to get from me is the harsh truth. I will spoon feed it. I will force feed you the truth. Because I don't need to do face thumbnails with, we're going to the moon and this is gonna, you guys aren't ready for what's coming yet. I think the truth is that nobody is ready for what's coming because they're watching too much hopium YouTube instead of getting the facts and the data. So thank you guys for joining me here, and that's what you're going to get. OC, what do you got for the people, man?
Well, I was looking at also a little bit of Bitcoin here. So we were looking at the same box right down here. Still, I believe that we have a box to come. In fact, remember that, guys, I draw this huge line here. I mean, what I really want to keep seeing is Bitcoin dumping. And that's, again, not because I want to see people getting wrecked, but because I actually think on the market structure. I mean, believe on the market structure. And I think that if we make a retest on this trend line, and remember, we've been talking about that area of support, right? And I already have a calculation for that. That is a baseline, so this nothing is nothing really crazy. Let me go and show you. If we measure this movement, there we go. Let's measure, for example, when we are bouncing from that trend line, for example, right here to here, or almost the same thing from here to here. As you can see, it's basically the same point. As we bounce from it, we have a real chance to break this forever channel, right? And then do a retest, so breakout retest, and off we go. And I think this could be on December this year, right? Again, I mean, we need to start looking at the data. Tomorrow we have big data coming out. And also, I mean, I think the governments, and not only the U.S. government, but all governments around the world, they're just trying to fake it until they make it. Are they gonna make it? That answer remains to be seen. But I think they're gonna force it, right? So still that possibility. I'm aiming for a positive outcome if we bounce out of this confluence zone, because we have the median of that range and also this trend line coming up. And I'll be looking. Look at that. We almost have that flip of the ribbon. In fact, we already have a flip of the ribbon, but it looks to me like an inverted goose head. Let me see it. There we go, like an inverted goose head, which tells me that we're gonna have a pullback and then a further continuation. Hopefully we do. By the way, by the way, we're looking at this right here. I jumped into a long, then confirmation jumping to a short. Then I was looking for a retest. Maybe are we gonna get back this retest? Could be. So first trade setup of the day. Let's just give it up right now. We are within this area of resistance at this point. So I'll be looking for the price to come all the way up here and then start looking for the flip of the ribbon, right? I want to see that flip of the ribbon, maybe slightly breaking through, but sure enough, and ending below the zero line. And that's going to be my entry for a short. I'm pushing it a little bit higher here because we did not have at that moment, and let me clear this up. We did not have at that moment this order block, but you can see this is a soft and then a loud order block. So first, a possible entry area right here where we are now. I'm just looking for that flip of the ribbon. In secondary possible area right here. Oh, come on, grab it all the way up here to this loud order block. So that's going to be my trade setup. Hopefully we can make it. And this is going to be a juicy short that we could maybe get it if we break back above that zero line on the way down.
Are you reading the chat right now? I am just cracking up reading the chat over here. Sexy spaghetti is what we got told by Alexander G. Buck said, "Back off. He is mine." To Mark Dutch, and Mark Dutch said, "OC guy, one of the few YouTubers who only doesn't only sound sexy, even his charts are sexy." So there you go, sexy spaghetti, bro. I love it. God, I love the alumni. They make everything okay. I'm just saying. So let me get you more even there. There we go. You got a nice haloing going on, by the way, with your hair. There's a lot of white light coming in on you. Your house has got too many
I'm being
windows there, OC.
illuminated today, my friend.
Yes, yes. They said you're the Halo King despite your 10 to -1 loss against Alex O'Crypto. So uh, I see.
Really, really, Piper. I thought you were on my side, my friend.
I am. Hey,
You
hey, truth,
turned to the
bro.
dark
Truth.
side.
I
You
give
turned to
only
the
the
dark
truth.
side.
You know how it is. You know how it is. Shout out to
Data, right?
Joe
Data.
in the chat right now. I see him in there. If you guys don't know who Joe is, that's Trade Intuition. And you guys have got to go follow him if you're not following him. Guys, just go right there. Trade Intuition. He's got 2K subs, 601 videos of excellence. And one of my favorite TA guys in the field. He will tell you the hard truths also. So you guys should go check him out if you don't have that. Here, let me just do this. I'm going to see if I can beat Alexander G to the punch. Let's see. Let's go. Let's get it in there. Did I get her? Did I beat her? It's hard to beat Alexander G. She's the mod queen. She's the best in the biz. But I think I got her. I got it first today. I'm on it. So, all right. Let's go and let's check out some more charts. I'm looking at some other stuffs here. Let's go and check out Chainlink because I got Buck in here, and Buck has been. We've been trying to walk.
You heard
Buck.
it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero.
That's right. Zero. Going to zero. I was like, what the hell is that? Somebody else got sound effects going on here? All right. So Buck was in a trade, guys. He's in a long. Buck, I don't know how much you're down. How much are you down, Buck? Let me know in the chat. But yeah, he's down on his trade. He longed Chainlink. And I said, look, here's how you do this. We're going to set up a short to go against this. If it continues to go down to the downside, then you're going to have your short to make money that you can then funnel over to reposition for your long to the upside. It's a good hedge strategy. And so he said, what if I went a little bit extra leverage on it? Can I go a little bit of extra leverage? And so he's been making some money back to help out. But Buck, I do believe that we're going to at least see $8.30. We have now broken this low, it looks like. Matter of fact, if we close this candle here on the 4-hour below this, we are setting up to head lower. We are at a key level of support right now at about $10.28. You can see all this play across here that this has been support, but I don't think that if Bitcoin does what I think it's going to do, which is they're going to be to come up here and reject right back. Actually, it's not it. Look, it's already losing that momentum there on it, guys. I told you it's not a very strong move. Matter of fact, what's the volume? Can I look at the volume? Volume's still low. True 7's coming down. Yeah, the money flows in the red. Although it does say that we are peaking out here on the 4-hour for the power battery. I think if we go to the daily or 12-hour, you'll see there's still some juice left in that. Yeah, there's still some juice left there. Going to the downside, money flow, red volume. So I do think that we're going to have more downside, bro. So that means that we have to assume that Chainlink is going to follow suit. If Chainlink follows suit to the downside, I am watching for that level down there. Again, that's $8.27. What is that level? I'm glad you asked, OC. Let me show you. That level is this entire trade band that we were ranging in for over a year right there. So that's what I would be watching for, is the top of that. And if that doesn't hold, bro, like I told you, it can go as low as $5.30 down there. So that's what I'm seeing on Chainlink. Let's jump back over to the Duo Cam, the dynamic Duo Cam. And let's check out the chat here. What we got here? We got ruined, Falco said. What's up, Falco? Give him the thing. There it is. Falco's in the house. Max H in here. I hear you also are in VC, Trade Intuition. Oh yeah, Trade Intuition. Max H been trying to get a hold of you. He's in that venture capitalist world also. So Moho said, quite a nice evening. If I wasn't so poor, how about yourself, username? Oh, he was responding back to username there. Bucks long is down 102%. Oh, buckaroo. I love you, bro. You got this. You got this. This is why I talk about if you don't have a lot of dry powder, use a stop loss. But he's using a lot of dry powder. He went the other way. Living life, listening to Bear Piper, and going to get some dinner soon. Guys, am I really a bear or am I a realist? Let's be honest here. Let me know in the chat. Am I a bear or am I a realist? In the chat, I'd like to know that, please. Let's go ahead and let's head over to your charts, OC, see what you got while they respond back, and let me know. Am I truly the bear? Am I Bear Piper, Piper Bear? Do I need to get a new icon of a bear wearing a kilt playing bagpipes? I will if I have to. Let's jump over to your chart, OC.
Absolutely. I think that it depends on the time frame that you were looking at things, right? I mean, for the microstructure, I think that's what we specialize here because lately, TradeFlow has been migrating from shows, so we're missing that part. But other than that, I think that the higher time frames are pushing something a kind of like an off story. You've been saying, right? So the audio doesn't match the video, right? So I want to bring up SPX. Why am I talking about SPX? Because this for me is one of the things that I look for to look at altcoins. Why? Because this tells me risk on or risk off, right? And if there's risk on, I absolutely think that we're going to be finding some really nice movement on, especially some S coins or something like that, right? I do not endorse jumping in hard with S coins or meme coins, but there's a chance for altcoins to be pumping, especially those. I don't know, like have you guys seen Baby Dodge? Come on, that's just a crazy movement. So you will see that I have two alerts, one at 5,798, and that is basically a higher high. So we are right now still with, all-time highs, right? I mean, that's a fact of the matter, but I just don't see the breakout to the upside. Let me show you, for example, here, that we have this gap in here before this little range and then drop down, little range, a gap to the upside and breakout. So we don't have that gap to the upside. We don't have that big body candle, but instead we have a big candle rejection from my trend line here, right? And what happened when we see rejection? Look at that big body candle rejection. What is it? Come on, big body candle rejection. So there's a real chance that we can break it, or break it, this trend line here, and then going to visit some other lows. I think we are just holding for tomorrow numbers, and right now we are on choppy land. I mean, market is very choppy. We have seen this on Bitcoin, up and down, up and down, up and down, all a roller coaster in the 15 minutes. I mean, can we take advantage of that? Of course, but this is just one of the things I'm looking for. So let me try it back to you, and then I'm just going to be bringing back a couple of altcoins that I'm looking at.
Awesome. Let me get my image up here. So there you go. I got a new image for you guys. There you go. That's Bear Piper. I'm going to make this a thumbnail tomorrow. The bearish Piper calling for more downside. Guys, don't forget, we do have, thank you, Chat GPT, for that image. I appreciate it. We do have some economic data tomorrow that I do want to remind you guys about. Tomorrow, we're going to have the producer price inflation. This is the PPI. If you guys don't know what this is, let's go down here and take a look. The producer price inflation month over month for final demand measures month over month changes in the price of commodities sold for personal consumption, capital investment, government, and export. So with us having the consumer price index higher than expected, I do think that we will see that the PPI tomorrow comes in a little higher than expected, which is just going to be another inflationary data piece. Right now, it is currently at 0.2%. Consensus and forecast is that it'd be 0.1%. Guys, if this comes in like 0.3 tomorrow here, and that the core PPI comes in at like 0.3, 0.4, then we could see even more downside tomorrow and close the week out on red. However, that being said, I do think that we would get a pump over the weekend, and that I also think that we would get a pump into Monday morning on the market open. So, but yeah, tomorrow, expect that bear to be on the thumbnail. Bearish Piper is in the house, so it will happen. Rate cuts will continue. Indie Rock Crypto said. Let's take a look at those. Let's go. We can look at what the estimate is right now. This morning it was 15.1% chance of a rate pause. Let's see if it's any higher now. Nope, 15% still. So as of right now, we are looking at a 25 basis point rate cut. I think that is probably true. We probably will see a 25 basis point rate cut. But one of the Feds today, I think it was Bowman, he did make the comment that one of the two rate cuts coming up, either November or December, he is not opposed to voting for a rate pause because the big thing is that inflation, right? So here's the scenario that they're faced with right now, guys, so that you guys understand the nuances of what the Fed Reserve has to deal with right now. It's the perfect storm of their ideal nightmare, right? If they cut the rates, then they avoid employment getting wrecked even more. That keeps the economy strong because people have jobs, right? If they don't cut the rates, if they cut the rates, it keeps the job numbers strong, but it also runs a risk of people having money again to start buying goods and making demand go up against supply, which raises inflation. So you've got inflation and jobs. That's the two factors. Cut rates, inflation goes up, job numbers stay strong, right? It doesn't go to risk. Don't cut rates, jobs go down, you get unemployment rising, and inflation drops. They have got this balance game that they've got to do where either way, they're going to damage something, either raise inflation or hurt job numbers. I would not want to be Jerome Powell right now for all the money in the world. They could offer me 1,000,000 Bitcoin right now to take Jerome Powell's job, and I would be like, hell to the no, because no matter what they do, they're going to run a risk of upsetting and disrupting one thing or the other. And the worst case scenario in all of this, just so you guys are tracking, is that we get job numbers, unemployment continues to go up. I still think that we're going to see a revision in November that is going to just shock everybody. I'm not going to be shocked. No O face on my thumbnails for that. I'm not going to be surprised. I told you last Friday that the numbers were not right. I think that we're going to see a revision of the job numbers a lot. And I want you guys to understand it can get much worse. It will happen slowly and then all at once when it happens. But when we start to get layoffs, the it happens in weeks. Everything starts to unravel in weeks, and you won't realize that it's happening until you're already down 40% on your accounts. Bulls climb upstairs, bears jump out windows. Okay. But I do think that the worst case scenario is going to be that we get revisions of unemployment going up. And at the same time, inflation is coming up, because when you have inflation and job numbers in both bad, that's called stagflation. And stagflation is way worse than inflation. It's way worse than a recession. So it means that nobody has jobs to buy anything. And the people that do have a little bit of money to buy stuff, it's super expensive. So you can't afford to get anything because you don't have a job. And even if you had a job, everything's more expensive. You don't want stagflation. And I think that at this point, that's the best case scenario that the Fed Reserve can hope for, is that they avoid stagflation. So that is what I'm watching for. So OC, let's jump. I wanted to go through that data real fast for those guys, but let's jump and see what other trade setups. Let's pull out the bubbles and go see what's hot on the bubbles, bro.
Absolutely. In the meantime, shout out to username. He says Piper wants the end of the world to happen. Very passionate about the death of the USA. Piper the Riper. And by the way, let me give you a chance to redeem yourself. You said 1 million Bitcoin. Man, I'll take it happily with 10 Bitcoins. I mean, give me that job. And then when they have my trust, I go, hey guys, you know what? I lied to you. Go get Bitcoin. I got paid in Bitcoin. Nevertheless, they don't have my keys. So they ditch the economy and then pump the Bitcoin once they pay me. Do you know how much is that those 5 Bitcoins gonna be worth? Man.
Okay, let me clarify a couple things. I just went back up and read this. Piper wants the end of the world to happen. Very passionate about the death of the U.S. economy. I don't think the U.S. economy will die. And I've said this many times, I still think that the US economy is the strongest economy on the earth. Total GDP, which is not that GDP is, hey, this is what we sold, right? This is our total value net worth, right? We still have the highest GDP on the planet by far. Even BRICS, all the BRICS nations combined don't even come close to our GDP. So I don't think that the US economy will die at all, because long before that happens, the rest of the global economy will die along with the US economy, and they will die much quicker than us, because they are not as resilient as our system is. Our system is designed to print money when needed, and it actually can pull us out even though it causes more inflation. I don't want the U.S. economy to die. I don't want the Dixie to die. I get paid by the U.S. government. I want it to stay strong. But I do think that a global recession would happen if the U.S. economy went into a hard recession. And if that happened, I would do a lot of prayers at night, because remember, when the U.S. economy crashes, the U.S. The global economy crashes, and when the global economy crashes, hundreds of millions of people in third world countries starve to death, and that is a horrible way to die. So, no, I will never ever be the guy that wants that to happen. I just want people to be aware that we are due for a reset. We've had nothing but, really, besides 2008 pullback, which recovered fairly quickly. We have not had a major reset in the economy since the 1980s. So we're about 50 years in the making of up movement. And if you really look before the 80s, it was pretty much a flat market. So we are due for a pretty good reset, I would have to say. So that, and I want people to be aware of that. So, matter of fact, even if you look at the 18-year cycle, the housing cycle, which is, if you go back in time, 2008 from 2024. Go back before that, 1990, we had another recession. Go back before that, it was the 70s when we had super high inflation. There is a cycle of when we actually hit our recessions on an 18-year cycle. And that next 18-year cycle, by the way, comes up in 2026. So there you go. That's all. I just wanted to put that out. That's all. That's all. Let's go and get over to your chart, OC.
Let's do it. So, Link here. Danger zone, guys. Danger zone. I gave this setup today. I remember that we were talking about this trend line here and the bounce. Let me show you. We're talking about the bounce on that trend line, right? So, do we see the bounce? Well, we kind of like had the flip of the ribbon. Well, it was time a little bit upper here, and now we're retracing back in. Remember, that's why I set up my entry point farther to the right, right? And I want to jump in, add maybe 2 or 3 candles back as we are retracing from it. Did that entry was taken? No. Is this trade setup still available? Yes. Am I regretting? No, because we never enter, right? But also remember that we draw the secondary possible trade here, right? So at this point, remember, it's just a waiting zone right now. We are on the danger Will Robinson zone. And we need to take a look at how we're gonna be playing this one, right? So this is gonna be for chain link. The next trade setup is gonna be just waiting here a little bit for the 4-hour time zone or time frame, and I want to see either flip down or flip up. Whatever happens, if I'm above this trend line, I'm gonna be chasing that, well, not chasing, but entering for a long position after the confirmation candle. If I break down, I'm going to be waiting for the retest and then jumping in for the retracement and aiming to somewhere around 932, right? So let me just bring up my order blocks here really quickly. And look that we have a high order block here, right? So it is very close one to each other. Let me show you here, 45 to 55. That usually cancels each other. So if it cancels each other, we could be having both a dramatic change in here. So just be aware that this is an area where we're going to be having choppiness, right? Or the market's going to be choppy. So be patient, wait for a defined movement, and then pull the trigger. Remember to always, always, always use your stop loss. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome, bro. Let's go take a look and see what else we got here. Did you pull up the crypto bubbles? Did we go through that?
I can pull it on right now.
Let's do that. Let's talk about the crypto bubbles and let's see what's moving right now in the markets. Because either a big hard mover to the downside or a strong mover to the upside will give us what we need. But let's go take a look at that.
Absolutely. Looking at hexing here, and also if I move out of the way, you'll see it right. Oh, the other way. Sorry. Right here we have uni. So those are the two things. Maybe APT. We can be taking a look at those. Why? Because I use this as a counter indicator because the movement is already in. So if I see a big movement to the upside, well then I'm looking for a retrace, and I can maybe make a buck on it. Right. Everything that goes up needs to go down. Everything that goes down to the floor, it usually bounces. Right. So let's take a look at the hexing here for a possibility. Can we trade this? Let me see. Well, not really, since it's on Coin Market Cap. So maybe that will be out of my reach. Still a possibility if you want to do a maybe a Coinbase trade. But I wouldn't really recommend that. Let's take a look at then Uni. Well, we have a ton of options here. I think Uni is going to be one of the best case scenarios here. Maybe Uni and APT. Would you like to take any of those, Piper, or would you like me to take on maybe Uni?
I'll take APT.
Perfect. So let's go to my charts in here. Let's do Uni. And remember that we're looking at the daily. Therefore, I'm going to be pushing into a lower time frame. At this point, I think I'm going to be going for the 4 hour. Here we go. We already have the movement to the upside, and we're having the retracement. Do we have a flip of the ribbon? Seems like a goose head. Will we have a flip of the ribbon? Also seems like a goose head. Is it a breakout retest? It remains to be seen, but I think it's going to be a pump and dump. Let's go a little bit lower, maybe the 15 minutes, to see some structure here. Let me clear everything up and also start clearing my spaghetti here. What do I see? I see a little bit of a continuation. Why? Look at this high, and then the next side, well, we're having this movement to the upside, right? I've seen this countless times. Look at that little move, big move, a little bit of range, and then burst to the upside. So what could we maybe see? Maybe a little bit of a range waiting for that dynamic reactor, and a final move above this one before we either continue or we do our next analysis. Important to note, we are below the zero line here, but we already have flip off the ribbon. So we could be looking for a bullish divergence. And if we can make that bullish divergence, maybe we can jump into this trade. Let me just see where my support and resistances are. Very quick, we are on a support. Oh, nice. That's a good signal here. So the only thing that I'm going to be looking for is going to be the breakout of that line, of that zero line, for an entry. Maybe it's going to be something like this of an entry. Set my stop loss at the previous low here. I'm not going to be giving it a wiggle room, and then aiming just below the previous high. This is a little bit of a pushing it trade. Why? Because this is only 1.2% risk reward ratio, right? So just be aware of this. And this is going to be TP number 1. And let me add my alert in here, and then also add my alert on TP number 1, as well as a stop loss alert. And then TP number 2, we're going to be using the volume profile. Let's it seems like it's a little bit constrained. So if we don't have anything else, I'm going to be pushing for my predictive ranges. Here we go. My predictive ranges are a little bit tight in here, so I'm going to double click on them, and then I'm going to be expanding them. Here we go, predictive ranges instead of chart. I'm on the 50 minutes, so let's use the 4 hour. Click OK. That's going to be giving me a little bit more wiggle room. Let's just wait for it to load. And this is going to be TP number 2 right here. So TP number 1, TP number 2. So that's going to be my trade setup. Just in case, if we make this and then we break or we lose this area, we are into a head and shoulders. Is it there yet? No. But could it be forming? Yes. So in that case, we're going to be aiming as a measure moved out of somewhere around 724. So the counter trade is going to be breakout, retest at the same entry point, and then off we go. So just a quick overview here in case it moved the other way around. And we are completely prepared with Uni. Good luck, guys, with this trade. I really hope that this one moves fast.
Awesome. I think that's a good one. I'm gonna get ready to look at Aptos here, but you know, I gotta set something up here for you guys first. Let me go here to Piper. There we go, right there. And then let me change this background. And you know, because you guys said I was a villain, so let's go ahead and we're in October. Let's get it going. Guys saying I'm reading scripts over here, so there you go. Let's jump over to my chart and take a look here. Oh, that's my evil villain script. Dang it. Hold on, let me get the chart. There we go. Looking at the chart of Aptos here, guys, I do have us rejected off of the golden pocket here. We are coming down of that and heading back down. We just lost the 200 day, we lost the 300. I think that we're going to see a revisit down to the platinum pocket, at least at the $6.83 might be a good opportunity right here on this 200 day to get into an entry for a short, not financial advice. Let's go in here and take a look and see what we're seeing. Yeah, we are pumping right back up for a retest right there on it now. I would look for it to come back down to here. Why? Because we got the 100 day down here. There is a 50 right there. We do a little quick take profit on it, move our stop loss down as we go. But the one thing that I am seeing here is that if we come over, you can't show it, not read it. Yeah, I had Chat GPT write up a script for me, guys. Let's take a look at the fixed range volume profile. This is going all the way back in history, back here to December of 2022. That fixed range volume profile, we just got rejected on that point of control here recently, also, guys. So that point of control, that value area low off of that point of control, which is the logical area. When you reject, you go down to there. If you bounce above it and get strength, then you usually go up if you don't get caught in a golden pocket. But I digress. I do think that we're going to head down to at least that level there, the 100 day. If you want to look and see how powerful is this platinum pocket here, guys, it's been a very, very strong support level down here. Lots of resistance on it also. So yeah, that point of that price point, $6.83. That entry, about $8.23. If we take a look at the oscillators and see how they're looking also, it does look like we did get an uptrend here. We are starting to get the push up to the upside, and the money flow is coming up. That would be enough for us to get here and reject on that off of that 200 before we come down. Let's go ahead and pull over on the 4 hour and check out the side by side. Let's see how that's looking. Let's see here. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Let me process it for a second here. I think we actually pushed back up to the 300 day, guys. Cancel that 200. That is X'd out. We're going to X that out. I actually think that we do push up back to the golden pocket for a retest before we come down. That would give time for this RSI prime and everything to cool back down. That would also let this uptrend play out and this money flow play out. But we are starting to lose volume. If you look here on the left side chart, let me bring this back into just a solo focus, bring this up a little bit bigger and point out what I'm talking about there. That volume chart right there, that volume matrix is coming down. So it is showing a low volume. If I was going to trade this right now with conviction that I want to get in on Aptos and only Aptos, I would probably do a split entry. Entry 1 right here on a retest of the 200. Entry 2 up there. That would make my average entry right in the middle for a short down there to that level. Take profit 1, take profit 2, and that's how I would play that. Let's jump back over to the duo cam. Can't show it and not read it. It's actually pretty funny. It's pretty funny. If you guys want to, here, let me pull it up there. Let me go to solo cam. Oh, wait, I need it here too. Jesus. Where's my scary background? You can't be a villain without villainous backgrounds. All right, it says, the people of the United States, I see you've been listening to the whispers, the rumors, the lies. I've heard it all. Piper is a villain. He's plotting to collapse the economy. I mean, really? Me? The villain? Why? Just because I've suggested a few changes on how things should run around here in this country? Just because I pointed out a few flaws in the system? Look, the economy is like a finely tuned machine. It's delicate and fragile. And all I've ever wanted to do is make money in it. Sure, my methods might be a little unorthodox. I don't care about likes and views. But if I tell you that it's going to go down, it's because I'm trying to get you to sell it so that I can make all the money on my shorts, guys. There you go. There's my little script that it wrote up for me, guys. There you go. So villainous background and all. That's going to become a short. I'm sure somebody is pushing that. This is scary. Should I start doing this type of stuff for you username? I got you. I'll just start putting out super bearish stuff for you guys.
Yes,
OC, we got
please.
about 14 minutes, man. What do you got for us on your chart, bro?
Oh man, we have a little bit of a request in here for Ondo. It says, please take a look at the Ondo. All right, we did an overview on Ondo here, and I do have a little bit of an offset trade. Something interesting is that it seems like we're on a Wyckoff ranging here, and very interesting. Look at where I was pointing out. Right, I was pointing at a retrace right here. We actually moved move, the very first move, and but now we kept going forward to the upside. We have broken inside, back inside of the range. This give me hope that we could maybe get up here, but look at this loud order block, man. I mean, of course, it's very close to each other, the Bulls and the Bears, but I think that we're gonna be wrenching a little bit here, and then remains to be seen what we're gonna be doing. I would suggest, not as a financial advice, but just as a friendly suggestion, to wait to see breakout or retest on this one. I will be looking at the oscillator here because we also have a bearish hidden divergence in here. It seems like we are making a little bit of a flat ribbon. What had happened previously on flat ribbons, we ranging here, right? So once again, everything is pointing out that we're going to be ranging for a little moment here. And then if we cannot make it above here, well, then most likely, or if we retrace back and broke the zero line, most likely we are going to fall back down to previous lows, or even let's take a look at the 4-hour. Where do I have my liquidity area right here? Well, then you have seen it, to the delta area. I also have marked this other line in here because this is going to be my first bouncing zone. And why is it my first bouncing zone? Because I have support and resistance. Come on. Where are you? Where are you? Support and resistance. Oh, sorry. It wasn't support and resistance. It was yeah, it was support and resistance, but I just don't see it anymore. Maybe has done a restructure here of the support and resistance. But well, remember that with new data, we need to update our trading analysis. So let me clear this up. And remember what I just said. Since we broke back above into the range, there's a possibility that we go up into the loud order block, we reject from it, right? And then go visit lower lows. So if you're looking for lower time frames, your entry is gone. I'm so sorry. I would not be chasing that entry. I would actually be looking for either a massive push through, a retest, and off we go. But I rather see an opportunity for a short somewhere around 67, 0.67, as we fail to hold the zero line. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for Ondo. I'm not going to be trading Ondo, just so you know. But since it was a request, here it is.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Let me go back to my normal background here. Let me fix this. Here, I can really do like the evil mastermind. Where's it at here? It is going to be, let me find it here. Hold on. Disabled. And there we go. I can do it like this for you. This is actually the true look of Piper this whole time. I've been just like this. What are you doing, OC?
Looking at Ton, it's moving. We were talking about that one, Ton.
Oh yeah,
I see.
yeah,
That's amazing.
There you go. There you go. So that's actually the true look. I use a filter all the time. I'm actually an 80-year-old hedge fund manager. I've worked for Warren Buffett for about 25 years. So let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin real fast, because I did see that one of our regular viewers here. Let me find her. Hold on. She asked about Bitcoin because she missed the beginning. It was Florence. Florence did. She asked about Bitcoin because she missed the beginning. So I'm going to give a quick recap on that, and then we will talk it out, walk it out, and do that thing. Let me change my background here. Back to my normal. There we go.
You get younger.
There we go.
You get younger as you drink out of bullish tears, right?
Yes. The tears of bulls.
There you
Hey,
go.
Mike Play wants to know if you can look at Dog, D-O-G, not Doge, Dog. Look at that, and I will take a look real fast at Bitcoin for Florence. So let's jump over and do that. Yeah, let's go and talk about this. Here you go, Florence. So here's what I talked about this morning. We talked about this level down here with the 300-day moving average and the 0.66 coming in at 58,934. That's literally where we bounced off of. I am watching closely for if we do get a pump up to get a rejection at the 100-day and the 50-day moving average. That's coming in at about $60,700 to $61,000. If we don't get the pump up, then I do think that we are going to come back and break this level. The level that I'm watching for next is coming in at about $56,000. If we put this back on the daily here, I'll show you what's going on there with the fixed range volume profile and why I think that. It is because that is the last area that we have of support on this volume node here. If we lose that, we're looking then at about $55,000. That's that node right there. And if we lose that, then we're looking at 52,000, guys. That's just how it is. So let's hope, because I still am sitting on a lot of Bitcoin. I am watching right there for 56,168 on the golden pocket to be the last line of defense before the Bears do truly take us down. So shout out to Alex O Crypto in the house. He said, we got to bounce to 70K. I told you, OC. What's up there, bro? Piper enjoys playing the villain. I don't know that I enjoy playing a villain. I just, so look, my job in the army, just so you guys know, my job in the army, and people used to make some crazy comments about me. So I'm going on soapbox here. Story time with Army Piper. Here we go. My job in the Army was to analyze all of the enemy's activities, trends, patterns, history, so that I could analyze and assess what they would do next. So my job was to think like the enemy, right? And so when I was in a anti-terrorism course, advanced level 2 anti-terror counterterrorism, I should say. Anti-terrorism is something totally different. That's threat mitigation. Counterterrorism is thinking like the enemy. We had to decide how to affect the how we would attack in Washington D.C. I was in D.C. at the time. How we would attack Washington D.C. and everybody had like, I would attack the Washington Monument, sentimental target. I would attack the bridge coming across the river there because it's going to shut down. You know, I'd attack the Pentagon, all these things, the White House, and I said I would attack a school. And they all looked at me like I was crazy, including the teacher, the instructor. And I said, I would attack a school. He goes, which one? I said, any school. It doesn't matter. Any of them. I'm going to set up bombs, blow up the school, massacre. And then I'm going to tell them that there are bombs in other schools, and they're all over the country. And I'm going to place a few in other places around the country so that they find those bombs. And when they find those, that confirms that they stopped attacks from a successful attack. The next day, nobody's going to school. Schools are closed. Kids don't go to school. People don't go to work. People don't go to work. People don't make money. People don't make money. You shut down the economy. And I said, and I have effectively, by attacking one school with no security, shut down the U.S. economy for at least 3 weeks. And the guy looked at me and said, I'm glad you're on our side. So, yes, I kind of do like playing the villain, but I don't like being villainous. I try to be good to people. Love people, love one another. There you go. So there you go. That is a true story with RB Piper. So OC, let's jump over to your chart and see what you got.
Perfect. Doug, let's take a look at Doug. Doug is looking a little bit, I don't know, vicious, let's just say here. Why? Because, guys, we had a big, this is many things at the same time. Remember that a figure, a pattern is a pattern once we break out and we see the result of it, right? So let's get started with the most, I would say, the simplest pattern, which is a triangle. This is a symmetrical triangle, or even a pennant. I would say triangle because this low is farther below than 50% of the pole that we could be seeing. Therefore, for me, that is a pennant, right? We're breaking this trend line, so reversing over the breakout, it's about the retest. But what happens if we lose the retest? Then it becomes a double top. But also, let's take a look at this. Oh, come on. If I just drew this and this, what does that have? How does that look like? That looks like a inverted head and shoulders. And what is the neckline? The same line is the neckline, right? So we have just broken the neckline. What are we going to be expecting here? Well, no chasing after the price. Why? Because, clearly we have, there we go, a place to bounce from, right? So I would rather see either flagging it out for a continuation, or a breakout retest and then a continuation, or at least a little pennant in here, right? Remember, this is the 4 hour. So this could be a good idea to start looking at the 15 minutes just to analyze what's going to be happening here. And then whatever happens here, if it breaks down, well, then I'm going to be looking for possible reversals. Let's take a look at the 15 minutes very quickly before we move out of here. And it seems like we're doing that pennant, but also we have TP number 2. That is one of the signals I usually take profit to forget about the trade once we have those signals, and then I restructure my trade as we come back down. So what is going to be my entry point? Here we go. Let me just zoom in here. As we come down on the oscillator ribbon, when we flip up and we are in some sort of support, right? or let me bring it up here. Come on. Here is or support, well then that's when I'm going to be taking the decision to enter for long, even if it's a little bit late, and then riding the next wave. But so far, remember, this could be a trap, and this would be a excellent place to take that trap. I mean, guys, when we tried to think the other way, I think it really felt related. That's what I laughed at when Piper mentioned, like, play the villain, right? If you were if able to manipulate this, when would you retrace the market? With everybody's feeling FOMO, right? With everybody's jumping late to the party. Well, then you retrace it. Oh, now it's shorting. Then they short it, and then you retrace it back, right? So you need to be a little bit evil here and then play it that way. So we're just going to be waiting for the first move here to the counterpoint, right? And that will be, there you go. Exactly.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero.
There we go. You heard it first here, guys. Bitcoin is going to zero. So just waiting for that retest. Confirmation will be your best friend, and we're still pretty bullish. Consolidation scores zero, and we're still within a pump. That's why it's an excellent point to do a retrace and then a continuation. That's what I got there, Piper.
Awesome. I had a question up here. Someone said, didn't they do that in Die Hard? I think they did that to like pull the police to another area while they did something. It's a D&D, denial and deception operation. So it's a thing. It's a thing. But mine was based off of the Beslan, Russia. There was an Al Qaeda tied group that did an attack there, blew up a bunch of people in a gym at a school, and they were never caught. The three masterminds behind that attack were never caught. It was almost like it was a test run for something else that we never saw. So I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, that's what mine was based on. That is all we have time for today. But before we go, I do want to bring something up to you guys. So I had talked about doing another piece of type content. Just want to know what you guys would think about it. I want to do kind of like a podcast where I go through like news articles, like what's going on, all things, not just financial markets, but all things. Yeah, see, that's just still all the gold. Exactly. It's a D&D. That's an old classic. But mine's to shut down the economy. My plan is. But I want to do a podcast type where I'm just going through news articles talking about whether it be politics, whether it be, something going on with water in Michigan, whatever it may be, whatever's hot and trending in the articles, where I just, tell you guys my perspective on how I'm reading everything in the news world, and call it the Piper's Den. It would not be here on this. It would be a totally different channel that I would do, but just love to know what you guys would think about that. Might be a every few days type show that I may start doing on the actual Army Piper YouTube. So if you guys think that would be something that you guys would tune into and listen, I'd love to hear your guys' feedback on it. But I've got to get going because it's about time to do TA 101. So for all of our top tier members of our memberships here in the alumni, I will see you guys over in the Discord. We will jump in there and we're getting ready to start that here in about 5 minutes for TA 101. We're going to answer a bunch of questions. I know that there were some questions from Mr. Man over there asking about where can he see his orders getting filled and stuff like that on Blowfin. So we're going to break all that down. That's what we do over there, TA 101, every single Thursday right after this show. So guys, thanks for joining us. OC, thanks for partnering up with me today on here. You're going to start being the regular, I hear, on this show for Trade Academy. So I'm glad to have you. And alumni, thanks for joining us here today on Trade Academy. OC, you got anything for the people on the way out? Hey, you're muted.
I was getting feed at, so I was eating pretzels. Sorry about that. So other than that, I'm really glad to for you guys, for you, Piper, to having me. I'm really appreciate to being here. So count with me. I'm really looking into giving more signals on the Piper Academy. Guys, if you don't know, I'm starting to do actual work with the Piper Academy and putting out there some signals that I'm watching throughout the day. And being here, I think is gonna smooth out things much easier, right? Because we can see them and then I can post them, or vice versa. Other than that, I have a late class for Chart Prime, so I'll try to wrap that one up fast and then join you in your is it questions AMA? What is it?
It's
101?
a TA 101. We just help people
TA
out
101.
on figuring out how to do TA and help them get their church right.
Awesome.
All right. Guys, we'll catch you all here this evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be the Crypto Nightcap. Tomorrow morning, right back here, it's going to be a Good Morning Crypto with Lunar Beaches Crypto and BC Port Corp. And then at 9:30, I will be bringing you guys the market open. We're going to have that PPI data coming out, so be braced for that. And look forward to seeing you all there, guys. If you guys are watching us over on X, there's a bunch of you. Come on over here to the YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Let us know that you guys support the content, and we'll catch you all later. Until then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.